What up? What up, everyone? Welcome. Hey, you guys, saddest news you're going to hear all night. Connor is not joining us today. Unfortunately. What up, everyone?
Is he all right?
Yeah, he's all right. Connor is photographing a wedding. A wedding.
Oh, nice. Well, Connor, if you watch this later, we miss you, man.
Oh, he'll watch it because he cuts clips from him. And no, yes, R.I.P. to Connor. Everybody, throw up. Yeah, we're ready to party. Bryn is now a resident mod for the day. And yeah, let's do it. How's everybody doing? Where's everybody at?
I'm putting it under raw editing challenge too, so that you know.
Oh no, don't do it in there. We'll keep them strictly
Going live.
Yep.
Okay.
Very formula.
You got it.
How's the stream, everybody? Is it okay? I know it's a little laggy. I still gotta figure everything out, but let me know. Let me know. Oh, of course my chat went away.
There we go. Let's get back up there.
What up, Evan? No, Eva. Whoops.
We got Eva in there. Hi, Eva. Bryn's in there.
Yes, Bryn is our.
Somebody named Elma Kias is in there.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Clown.
Anna Fitz. What up?
Brendan. Anna. Boy, it's so funny how after all this time, these names are just so
normal.
It's like seeing friends. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's like seeing friends that we're friends with. Lisa. Seeing us starting us off with the jokes. That wasn't a joke. Well, they're really are friends.
Yeah, I mean it. It's you see all these names that you just know so well. This is the best way to network to me.
Yeah, we're just gonna chill with everybody on Sunday.
Exactly.
Steve, this Tuesday I'm actually doing the first new episode, new stream thing that we're doing. Oh, the Almakias joke. Okay, Bryn, you're right.
Almakias joke, yeah.
That was a joke. It was just so bad. I mean, it was so good. Yeah. I forgot it fast.
He blocked it out of his mind.
Also, I never heard it before, so that was why it was so. On Tuesday, my friend Kevin and I are talking about really nerdy camera stuff having to do with sensors and what companies are doing to stay caught up with mobile cameras.
Oh, on what show?
On here.
Oh, really? Awesome.
Yeah, we're doing it at the night. So if you guys want to come hang, come. What up,
That sounds like a podcast I'm on regularly. A friend of mine does. That's all geek stuff. I mean, like really weird, crazy photo geek stuff.
Yeah, this is like a podcast except it's live, so we don't ever have to edit it.
Well, yeah.
You have to edit yours, right?
Yeah. Well, the normal podcast I edit. Like I recorded one yesterday and a Milky Way image. A 40 image stack Milky Way image, and edited that one yesterday. But when I do the image critique shows, those are live.
40 images is quite a lot.
Yeah, well, there's a moon image. I should send you the link. There's a moon image right now on Instagram and Twitter that a guy does deep space photography. It's 200 or no, I forget now. I don't want to say it, but it's like hundreds of images. It's like 83 megapixels or something like that. I'll go look it up, actually.
Gotcha.
Because it's crazy.
We're going live now.
Where is it? Right there. I'll show it to you.
I'll retweet Benjamin.
It's cosmic _ background. Look at this shot. This is insane.
What are you putting in a chat?
No, I'm gonna pull it up.
Oh wow! It looks like the moon is burning up.
And it's a what did he say? Yeah, it's 85 megapixel image. I saw somewhere 24,000 individual frames.
That's a lot. Keep going. Ooh,
Look at the detail.
You get closer, you can see the people that live on it.
Yeah, like right there's the neighborhood I used to live in right there.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah. I can see my nephew from here.
Yeah, it's cosmic _ background. It's just killer work. I love that. I love some weird photography now and then. Yeah, it's just unreal. So we got a good one today, though.
Yeah, we got Ben, and he is coming with us all the way from Cape Cod.
Did you see what Bryn put in the chat?
What did Bryn put? Unreal.
No. Zoom in far enough and you'll see this.
Yes. What up, Phoenix? We're doing great. Thank
Hey,
you for
Phoenix.
asking. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, this shot that Benjamin put in, is the most flexible shot I think we've had.
Yeah, I like it. I think that it reminds me of. I feel like we had a live photo that was similar to this. Not similar in the way, obviously, the shot, but similar in the way where people did a bunch of different stuff with it. What was it? Was it Maddie's? No, I don't know. Maddie's they got pretty loose with. But yeah,
This one, what I love about this one is people went just nuts with the like graphic design album cover side of it.
Yeah, and did you see what he did it for? That it was for an
Yeah.
album? Yeah, so I think that was the inspiration there.
Yeah, and actually his album cover interpretation where he, did the edges that were kind of worn off and just really, where is that? No, not there.
No, it is cool. We'll get him on here in 5 minutes, guys. We'll get him on here in 5 minutes. And then we'll hang out with him. Also, we'll just want to say, oh man,
there it went.
Goodbye, phone. Phone
It
didn't break. It didn't break, and that's what matters. Steve, what are you drinking?
Gatorade.
Yes. Oh, this matters, though. My thing?
Yeah, the way here, this is what I was talking about for those that didn't see his original album cover. The way that he did the like worn edges, like it was vinyl and people had been handling it forever. What I love. That's
cool.
The detail.
That is cool. Big vibe. It's a big vibe. What up, Emma? What up, Nate Hill?
Nate's here. Hey.
Nate. Got everybody. Yeah. Hey,
always here. Hey.
I hope that the stream stays well and alive. And Steve, can you tell that I've been working hard? I have a TV on my wall now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Was it already pre-wired or you did it?
I wired it. Well, nice. It's got. Wait. Let's see. You can see them. I just have them going down.
I see the conduit cover. Yeah.
I just have those. I did a projector in my living room with wires hidden, which was fun.
What are you projecting onto? A wall?
Mm-hmm. The walls are like they're textured, but if just a projector light. Obviously, you can't watch it in the day, but whoa, Emma, chill out. We do need Connor. I mean, we don't need him, but no one roast me for not doing this week's challenge, please. That's okay. There's always later.
Lisa asked how everyone's weekend was. How was your weekend?
My weekend was full of cleaning and organizing and getting plants. We went and visited my old neighbors. One of them I used to live next to some pretty elderly men and women, and one of them is in his 70s, but he was sick for like almost a year, and I visited him and did a lot of stuff with him. He lost all his memory for 11 months, so we kind of filled him in for all the things we did with him, and then we hung out with him. We got pizza and hung out with him yesterday, and that was really fun.
Awesome.
And
this was at the old apartment I'd been to?
Yeah, and then the other neighbor on the other side is an older lady, and she teaches me about plants and we went over there and got like 10 plants from her. Little babies.
Nice.
Yeah, so we got to go visit.
So are you mostly or all unpacked?
Yeah, we're unpacked. I'm just doing the cabling right now. The cabling and the cleaning. My mom's a painter, and she used to live here before me, and she doesn't just paint her paintings. She paints everything around them as well.
Yeah, your mom's a heck of a painter, though, too.
Yeah, she's also a psycho, but in the best way ever.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, psycho painter. I love it.
There's an album. That's an album title.
Psycho painter?
Or a band name.
Yeah. How was your weekend, Steve? How many Del Tacos did you get?
No tacos. I got a couple of burritos.
Well,
the weekend's been good. I had to be on the air at KCAL this morning. And,
what time?
7 to 11.
Oh, wow. Good store.
Yeah, I get there at 6 a.m. And then yesterday recorded a new episode of Behind the Shot with a guy that does 2 other podcasts. He does Master Photography Podcast and Photo Taco Podcast, a guy by the name of Jeff Harmon. And it's a 40-image Milky Way shot. And we talked about all the software he used and everything to stack them so that the stars were points instead of blurry.
Nerdy stuff.
Fun, crazy stuff.
Yeah,
it's a good hour conversation.
That's great. And that's your new podcast?
That's the one. I just recorded it yesterday. It'll come out on the 10th. The one I have now actually is it just came out Thursday.
What is it?
You like animals.
I mean,
dog breath photography.
Dog
Do you know
breath.
Kaylee Greer?
Oh yeah, I'm at. Wait. You weren't you in Vegas with me when we hung out with her?
I never hung out with Kaylee.
Oh, I know Kaylee.
Well, a little bit I did at Photoshop World. She was at Photoshop World, and Dustin introduced me to her. Dustin Jack.
Yeah, in Vegas. Didn't we both? Yeah, we both went. Remember when I was in
Were you
Vegas?
there that?
Remember, I was at a Magic the Gathering tournament. And you were visiting.
Oh, that's right.
And we went
That's
to
right.
the
I was
party.
thinking he wasn't at Photoshop World. That's right. You were staying with me, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the red hair.
Yeah, she's cool.
I finally got her on and did one of her shots, and it is hands down one of my favorite episodes ever.
All right, well, everybody check that out.
There's a point during it where she tells a story about the dog and almost comes to tears.
She loves her dog. Dogs.
It's amazing.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, for those that don't know Kaylee while we're waiting.
Yeah, throw it in. Yo, also, I just wanted to say, I know there's a lot of rules on Twitch, and some people don't like this, but if you guys ever have other channels that you want people to check out, you can share them in our chat. Let us know. If you have other Twitch channels you want people to look at, I don't care. It's all about community here, so if you have anything you want to talk about, share, please bring it to us. The more the merrier. Obviously, do it politely. It doesn't have to be go here now. I know you're streaming, but teach people. So, just a little PSA.
This is Kaylee's work.
Yes, the pups. It's like how bands used to be photographed 10 years ago, but now it's for dogs. It's like 3 stops. Yeah. It's like 3 stops under, plus dog face. You know what I mean?
This is the shot that we talked about.
Yes, that is cool. Oh, look who we have. We have a Benjamin. Benjamin has arrived. Benjamin, we're looking at dogs. You can pull them up if you want. What else?
Dogs rule.
We're looking at dogs.
Here's the dogs we were looking at while you were gone, Benjamin.
Wait, unmute. Yeah, there we go. Some good pups, right?
These are like incredible photos too.
Yeah, it's a good.
It's amazing.
That's what she does. All she does is dog photography.
And I mean, some of the shots are just.
Yeah, they're cool.
I mean, I love this. Hold on, it didn't come up. There we go.
Holy crap! Wow.
How does she know so many dogs? Is the real question.
Yeah, exactly.
Where does she keep them?
We all should know that many dogs.
Yeah,
that's true.
Dude, honestly, I don't know. Well, I gotta redo this design. We're missing a whole bottom line right here. Oh well, I'll give a high five. What was I gonna say? Honestly, I don't know how it is where you guys are, but in San Diego, there's so many dogs everywhere. I'm always like, how does everybody has a dog? It's a good dog stick, I think. I don't know. Do you have a lot of dogs?
I think dogs are essential to happiness.
Right?
They're the best thing in the world.
Wow. Starting off on a strong, not even a hot take, just that's more factual than anything, I think.
Yep.
Name one bad thing about a dog. They make your life so much better.
Yeah, I don't know. If people don't like dogs or children, I understand not wanting children, but if people don't like dogs or children, then I usually stay away from them because I consider them.
Yeah.
I consider them.
That's a good rule of thumb, man.
Yeah. It's one
There's
thing to
something
not want
underneath
one.
there.
Yeah, there's one thing to not have them. That's okay. I get that. It's another thing to actively dislike them.
Right.
So you gotta look.
Parker, I'm sorry.
Parker said, "What did he say?" We're reading chat while we talk. I don't know. You can load it up, Benjamin. If you go twitch.tv/elmachias/chat, it'll just bring up the chat, not the stream as well.
Oh, cool.
But yeah. And if you're like me, it's frozen. But yeah, it's kind of a cool way to do it. Anyway, thanks for hanging. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, y'all.
Yeah, this is a cool room. Is this your room?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
It's my girlfriend and I have been at her parents' house this summer up in Cape Cod. So it's not my room. It's not her room either. So
it's just a room.
Yeah, it's a room.
So the B on the bed isn't for you. It's probably just for bed.
Their last name is Bradley.
Damn. So. All right, that makes sense.
You could have so easily gone with, well, of course it's for me.
Oh yeah, they sewed it and put it together on my arrival.
It's on your rider.
Yeah, on my rider.
Really? Yeah, there's a tray
Thanks,
on the nightstand over there that's got green M&Ms in it too.
Yep, and only green.
And only green.
If you guys want to check out Ben's work, it's in chat. Parker seamlessly taking over for Connor. Connor, the guy you spoke to, Benjamin, this is his first time missing our live stream, but he unfortunately had a wedding rescheduled for their shoot today. You know, money.
That's good. He's working.
Money makes
That's
sense.
great.
Yeah, you gotta work. But this is your work. So
Hey, that's me.
do you shoot all the stuff, all the components of your work, or do you just design it, or can you tell us what we're looking at here?
Pretty much everything on my website right now is all me.
Okay. You made every
Only
part of
as
it.
of yeah, only as of late I've started to work on bigger projects. Like for example, this Seaway project that this image that we used was part of. You know, I did all the album artwork, but I also had a hand in the music video stuff, and that was
Okay.
with a whole team of director and cinematographer and blah blah blah.
So you're doing creative, basically.
Yeah, I'm kind of like now kind of flowing more into that realm of things, but this is everything that I've put together over the past several years on my own, really, and kind of putting me into that world.
Your mind works amazing. I'm looking at the fishbowl.
Thank you.
And the way you did this, where you can see the body, but the head is upside down.
Thank you.
I love that. What do you have a graphic design background?
No, I don't. I don't really. I didn't go to school for anything. I just like to mess around.
You went to school for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
School of hard knocks, man.
Yeah.
I taught myself everything I know, really, as far as graphic design goes. I just have always been very attracted to like tangibility. So I always try to like embrace that element of imagery as much as I can. I like to like print stuff out and scan it back in, or like, you know, project it on a wall and photograph that or whatever. You know, I like to mess around with stuff, and I kind of have taught myself graphic design through just screwing around with stuff, really.
I mean, the
that's
picture.
awesome.
The graphic design composition elements that you use in all of this stuff on color, the way you did this pool, but there's nothing there other than the people in the pool. You do one other thing I noticed I'm dying to know about. Let me scroll to the top quick and make everybody dizzy. The album cover for the photo that you did today, which isn't in here right now, but
yeah,
and this upper left picture have something in common.
Mm-hmm.
You do the weathered feel. Like on the album cover, the edges were weathered like people had held the vinyl.
Steve was loving that
Yeah.
before on stream. That was one of your favorite parts of it, right? I mean,
yeah. And you do that. You do it here. You do it on this one. You got a tear here.
Are you overlaying a texture? Or
there's a guy on the wall.
Oh wow!
Or on the ground, but that's awesome.
So a lot of these images, you can click through to like see more of each project if you want
All right,
to.
let's do the wall project, Steve.
So this was album artwork for a band called Boston Manor from the UK.
Love Boston Manor.
There's a bunch of like alternate images that we created as well.
So this is like the whole rollout, basically. Glue.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. See, did you do this?
Yeah, I did everything.
See,
Steve, he's the guy.
That is serious design work.
Yeah, he's the guy.
Wow. But the fact that you put it sideways here, so creative. So what like this one's another one. The weathered look. What triggers
is that texture? Yeah, is that a texture? What's your vibe? Yeah, sorry, Steve, you asked a question.
No, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
So yeah, I mean, it depends on the image, but most of the time I usually literally like make a final edit of the photo and then actually print it out like at Staples. And then put it on a flatbed scanner and scan it in again, like super high res, so you can get the paper, like the ink bleed on the paper, basically.
Right.
It's just unmatched. Like you can't recreate it.
There's no filter replacement, right? You have to do it. You have to do it live.
Yeah.
Wow. See, here's another one with that weathered look.
See, it's like
that was like some collage work actually that I did.
Dude, this is next level.
Thank you.
Do you know Revolving Style? Do you know Patrick? You ever heard of him?
No.
I can send you his work. You'll love him. He does the collage stuff as well, and he's a cool dude. So let me see if I can.
Like this. Look at this.
Patrick. Revolving Style. Yeah, that's awesome. So this is printed out and then photographed. That's what you're doing for most of them?
Print it out and put on a flatbed scanner.
Nice.
Yeah,
Same with this one?
flatbed scanner is like so
Same
crucial.
with this?
This image that you're talking about with the faces.
Yeah.
No, that I don't think I printed out. So you'll see in my edit of the photo that we used for this week. Sometimes I have like a variety of just like blank textures that I've created that I can apply different ways. Like, I just printed out like a solid black image and then scanned that super high res so I could like lay it into various Photoshop files or whatever.
So like making your
it's dependent on
textures.
the image. Exactly. Yeah. It's dependent what, sometimes you want like all the colors to bleed. Sometimes you only want, just the blacks to have that like faded look. It depends, but
Well, this has been
Cool.
so fun. And so for the final question, can you start doing my edits for me?
sure. 1 million space bucks, please.
Yes.
1 million space bucks? What's the joke?
Spaceballs. You never
Oh.
seen Spaceballs?
Dude, sometimes there's random movies that I know I should have seen, and when people
Oh.
quote them, I always get this, it's the reaction that's happening right now. I'm sorry. I need to see it. But I did see one this year that is like on that list, which is, what's the one where like the real aliens come down and ask them to be part of their spaceship, but they think they're fake aliens? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Damn it.
Somebody
I
in
don't
chat
know.
has to have this because now I
Either-
need to know what it is.
Let's go ahead and say that it's still a popular movie, but I'm just bad at explaining what it is. But
I just saw Bill and Ted last night, the new Bill and Ted.
how was that?
I actually thought it was going to be, there's no way to capture that moment again. This is going to be stupid.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. And the new character in it, Dennis, is just wonderful.
Where do you see it right now?
Uh,
Is it online or what?
It's on, yeah, you can rent it, but it's $20. But we went, well, we
mean,
would have spent 25 to go see it in a theater. So
That's the justification.
Um,
So you kind of made money, right?
yeah, in a way, yeah, exactly. By the way, since you brought up a sci-fi movie and we're already in this rabbit hole, Infinity Chamber on Amazon Prime Video.
It's good.
Stumbled on it, had no idea what it was. It is fantastic.
Noted.
Okay. Cool. Infinity Chamber.
Movie where aliens are real,
He's Googling.
but they are fake. Well, dude, I have to figure it out. I'm gonna have to take longer. I'm gonna have to put more mental energy towards it, and I feel like we've got Benjamin here. Let's take advantage of that. So we'll do it later. But
Benjamin, what is in your head?
when I ran over here,
So
What
this
is what's the bright white blob?
you're getting a straight path to it, Steve. This is a direct line to the head.
this image was taken on black and white film, and I think the camera I don't even remember what the camera was set on, but obviously a low shutter speed, and I must have just moved. It was like literally a total accident, but it just looks really sick.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I suck.
No, you took a crazy
Wow.
picture of the moon. I couldn't do that.
Steve, you gotta
Yes, sir.
set a good example, man. You can't say you suck.
Yeah, I know.
That's not positive.
I know.
But it's okay. I mean, it's realistic, right? We all have that moment where we look at somebody's work and we go, "God damn it!"
Yeah.
And it's hard because we group everything together. Say graphic designer, photographer. But there's so many subcategories and so many places you can go that take a long
It's like
time to
music.
learn.
It's like music. It's
Oh.
over categorized.
Yeah.
You know, this is somebody's mind. This is somebody's mental voice, and that's what makes it so cool to me. Is this came out of Benjamin's mind, and then Adam will do something that comes out of his mind that makes me go, I would have never been in that spot and seen that.
Yeah,
I love it. It's awesome.
that stuff is so cool.
I'll vibe. Yo, so wait, how long have you been doing this? You said past few years you were working on the work, but how long have you been at it, I guess, or following this path?
I've been like full-time freelance doing this for about 2 years. And then I had kind of like a weird trajectory because I've been in music for like my whole adult life, playing in bands as a musician.
Oh, cool.
Which is something
what
that
do you
I
play?
still do. I play drums predominantly, but I also, write my own music. That image that you pulled up of the TV was single art for one of my songs, actually. So, I kind of do a lot of shit, and the music thing started first. I was like in bands touring full time and started taking pictures on tour, as I'm sure is very similar to Adam, and just found that I had like
I
a
was
good
not in a
eye.
band.
And well, you toured, you had friends in
Yeah,
bands.
yeah,
you
I get the
know,
vibe. Keep going though.
yeah, that whole kind of bubble. You know, touring was a really great place to like feed your eye, you know, because there's
Hmm.
just so much new every single day. And so I just started taking like a film camera with me and documenting. And the more that I did it, I started to realize that I could do it pretty well, and just kind of followed it from there. Once I moved to New York in 2018, I kind of just hit pedal to the metal. I spent a couple months like working crappy jobs and got really sick of it. And so I was like, screw it, I'm going to do this. And um, have been learning and doing it at like hyper speed since then.
I
But
like
I think they go hand in hand with, you know, each other.
I like that you said, what did you say, feed your mind. I think that's how you worded it, or something. You're talking about
Yeah,
how there's a lot of food for your mind on tour and a lot of things. I like that. That's a good way of thinking
yeah.
of it. It is quite like experience dense. Like a lot of
Oh yeah,
things happen. Um,
super stimulating.
yeah, that's great. Well, I'm glad. What jobs did you work, if you don't mind me asking, while you're in New York that you found were not there for you? I mean, we all have jobs
Um,
before our jobs, and it's fun to talk about those things.
yeah, I was a bartender for a little bit,
Okay.
and then the bar closed because the owner committed a felony. Quit
As
that
one,
job
as
really
some
quick.
do, yeah.
I
Yeah,
hope his
yeah.
felony was like stealing mail. I hope so.
It was bad.
I'm glad you're still with us.
And yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Then I worked at a coffee shop, Blue Bottle Coffee,
Oh, nice. San
for
Francisco,
yeah, about 6 months. I
I
worked
think.
in Rockefeller Center and
Portland.
wanted to pull my hair out, so I quit that.
Coffee shop is hard, man. You're a lot of
Yes,
some people aren't very nice before they have their coffee. Maybe if you could like I don't know
especially in Rockefeller Center. Yeah.
what's the job that comes after that people get morning coffee? What would that be? I don't know. Their Uber driver to work. I don't know if that'd be good either.
Maybe, yeah.
That'd be hard. Well, anything where you have to deal with a mass amount of people is always difficult. But respect for you for
Yeah.
doing it, and then maybe those were just horrible enough that they launched you into this career path.
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. I just couldn't stand one more second of it, and so I really felt like I had to do this. I had to make it work somehow because my sanity was like at stake.
Do you ever think, like, I don't know, me personally, sometimes I go through phases where I'm like, damn, what am I doing with my life? Where am I at? What have I done? Do you ever go back to 2 years ago and think, oh, I did a good job?
Of course.
Because that's pretty
Of
cool.
course, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
awesome.
mean, just especially given like everything that has gone down the past 6 months, like I'm so glad that
Hmm.
I have established myself in the way that I have, because I'd be living a very different life right now, and I'm thankful for what I have for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, your life definitely is able to continue in the confines of your house. Definitely
Yeah.
designed you. Do you find that it's affected your work, quarantine, and all the, being
Um,
alone, or I don't know what your schedule is, but obviously it's different than it was prior.
yeah, I mean, personally, like my living situation has kind of gone through the ringer the past year, just like starting this year living in New York,
Hmm.
and then COVID hit, and my partner and I went up to Buffalo, New York, upstate, which is where my family's from. We spent like the spring there into the summer, and then come June, I ended up actually moving out of my apartment
Okay.
because we weren't living there and
Yeah.
no reason to pay for it, and came up to Cape Cod where her parents are at, and we've been here for the summer since then. And so we're still kind of in this like transitional period, and I've been like working through that whole experience and trying not to like let the career go to shambles, you know? So
It's hard right now,
definitely
man.
been challenging. Yeah.
Even if you did take time off, I don't know if the results would be your career went to shambles, but it's definitely, you don't want to figure it out either by experiencing it. Maybe it's best to just keep grinding through. But
Exactly. Yeah.
everybody's in weird living situations right now, so props to you for making it work. Or I'm not quite really sure the details of it, but people are living with parents, people are living with family, friends. It's just everything's changed, so there's no
Yeah.
rules.
Right. Right.
It's cool you have somebody to go through it with, though. That's very nice. I'm sure that
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, yeah.
And a good place to go too.
Yeah,
Oh,
Cape Cod.
yeah.
I mean, during quarantine, Cape Cod would be a choice.
It's been more than ideal, I'd say. Yeah.
It's like you're on vacation.
Uh-huh.
So I'm kind of curious with the type of jobs that you're doing.
Oh, we got shower shoes.
And there is very obviously a common thread that runs through your work. Somebody comes to you with a job for an artist. It's obviously going to have Benjamin's take on it, Benjamin's voice and stamp put on it, which is the colors and the weathered and scanned type look,
Processing.
and textured look.
Yeah.
But how do you start that inspiration? Because some of the stuff on your feed is really honestly next level creativity, not just the end result, but the way you got there, right? Well,
Yeah,
how do you start a new project and come up with it?
I
want your magic bullet.
Yeah.
Here, Steve.
Honestly, like I'm a huge advocate for embracing the things that like inspire you. A big process of mine is to just like immerse myself in something that I love. Just generally speaking, like rock and roll, if that's, whether that's the music side of it or the visual side of it, for example, like one of the music videos that we just put out for Seaway's Big Vibe, this album, was really heavily inspired by the live video Song Remains the Same. And that's like one of my favorite rockumentaries, or whatever you want to call it. And so when we were like thinking about ideas for the video, I was just like, well, this is really sick, and what if we just tried to do this, and I think there's like a lot of value in finding something that you like, it inspires you so much that you want to copy it, and then starting to try and copy it, and then along the way just like finding your route and just chasing that rabbit hole,
letting your voice develop through somebody else's.
Exactly.
I've always said we stand on the shoulders of those that came before us, and you mentioned one of my favorite documentaries, which is Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Song Remains the Same. If you've not seen it, even if you don't like Zeppelin or classic rock, the directing, the performance,
when did it come out?
Everything about it is art.
I haven't seen it, guys. When did it come out?
What,
1970, 72 maybe?
Yeah, no, it'd be later than that.
Later than that.
Well, you're talking about it. Were you saying you were talking about a documentary or no?
Documentary.
Okay.
I'll look it up.
Yeah. I think the coolest part about that is that it's a documentary, but it's like a conceptual movie and a live album at the same time.
Right.
Which is just crazy. They didn't, they could have taken the easy route. Okay. They could have taken the easy route and just put the record to the video, but they played a show at Madison Square Garden instead. So.
But it shows that you're taking, and you can see it in your work, by the way. A lot of your stuff is very 70s, of all genres. I mean, you've got like disco influences on some of the artwork, and psychedelic Jimi Hendrix-y stuff in some of the artwork. It's
I'm happy that I'm happy that you found your. Sorry, go.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm I know that it's like a dead horse kind of thing to say, like, oh, I'm super inspired by the 70s, but I am, and
it's not a dead horse. That's fine.
Yeah, there's a lot of like aspects of the art that was created in that era that is just like timeless to me. Bold colors, breaking the mold of what something should be in general, like that concept over
of what came before it. I mean, look at the Yes album covers; those were all hand-drawn art.
Yeah.
So
kind of going off that, one of my biggest inspirations as artist-wise is Storm Thorgerson, who's done all the like Pink Floyd album covers predominantly. He did do actually Song Remains the Same, the actual name of the real record. I'm blanking on it right now.
You say Storm Thorgerson? Am I saying that right?
I've got it actually right here. I'm going to pull it up.
All right, pull it up, Steve. Share it with us. Let's learn. Let's learn together. Thanks for teaching us so much. I love how much.
Oh yeah.
I love how much you have to talk about.
Thank you.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, Storm. I mean, he's most known for his work with Pink Floyd, but I guess more like modern bands. He worked with MGMT a lot. He just
Steve, keep
has
in mind,
this, like,
real quick. Steve, keep in mind we can't have any like nudity. There's a little bit there, but that's fine. But just
gotcha.
keep
Sorry.
in mind. No, it's fine. Just you can keep going, Benjamin.
He's just he toys on this lever of like reality, but anti-reality, you know, and I definitely dive more into like the textured elements than he did, maybe just because of the times, but I love the conceptual thought process behind his work. It's like he had an idea first and then he went to the camera side of it or the art side of it and applied it, you know.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that image on the top right is Pink Floyd.
Falling in the Water.
And the two eyeballs actually are Pink Floyd as well.
I mean, yeah, just I love that you I mean, study may be the wrong word, but
draw inspiration
from and are aware of a vast group of artists that have laid the groundwork kind of thing, that then you can pick up and continue that road.
Yeah. And and what do you do? Because a lot of people that I'll talk to and a lot of people on here will say, you know, when they look at other people's work, they find themselves comparing themselves, and they usually segue that into saying, you know, I'm not as good as them or something that puts themselves down. Obviously, you've compared yourself to these people. What do you do to use that information in a positive way and not use it in a way to, like,
good question.
rock yourself?
Really
like, how do you do that?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, we all get in that headspace. I think like knowing your worth is really important, and knowing like you said, you know, when we were looking at my website earlier, like it's I made that stuff over the course of years, and that was all a while ago, but it's still like cool to look at it and be like, yeah, I made that, you know, that's all still me. I still get to like say that was me. So you know, knowing your worth and not feeling like you are nothing. And I think just continuing to ride that train of like, this is so cool, I want to try and do it, or try and do it my own way, or whatever, you know, rather than like, this is so cool, I can't do it.
Like, hey, it's possible. This person did it.
Yeah. Steal like an artist is it's a multifaceted statement, but it applies to, you know, using things that inspire you to fuel your creativity, and it also applies to not letting that thing that inspires you so much like consume you. Take it, digest it, and regurgitate it, you know.
We're getting everything's food. Also, I want to tell you guys the name of the movie. It's called Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest. Yes.
Did I not say it correctly? Is that not the right description?
Actually, your description was perfect. I was just thinking it was new, but it was, that's older.
It's 99. Not that old. But, yeah.
Great movie.
Okay, well, now will you guys let me hang out with you again? I know I don't know this. These are all so cool. Yeah, your photo work's great too.
I love the fact, I mean, you're following standard composition rules, and yet you're still, the one in the middle is the rule of odds. Yeah. You follow even spacing, but then you flipped them upside down.
Yeah. I don't know any of that stuff.
Which is great.
He just feels it, Steve. He just feels it.
Yeah.
Steve, but that's why they exist, is because they are kind of natural in the way that we see the world.
Sometimes we just got to let Steve talk, because he'll make us sound way cooler than we ever are. Do you know what I mean? Like, he'll be like, oh, you did this, this, and this. And you're like, yeah, Steve,
yeah,
totally. Yeah.
Totally intentional, man.
Yeah, right, Steve. Right. Yes. Galaxy Quest featuring Tim Allen. That's correct. Oh, you did a lot of merch. Free throw.
See, here's that weathered effect on this album cover in the middle.
Yeah, it's like
where you can see the
vinyl
texture effect.
Yes. I keep like zoning out just looking at your work. So
Yeah, same here. Like the one on the right here is that kind of psychedelic 60s.
Yeah, that
Hendrix
was
type look.
inspired by the band Free.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Paul
there's
Rogers.
a Free album cover that is similar to that. That was inspired from that.
Wow.
That's
dude.
something I do too. Like, especially if I'm like, if someone literally hires me to do album artwork, I'll just go like stare at records for a while and then just try and recreate it.
What's your
basically.
record collection like?
It's pretty good. I mean, I wish I had $1 million for it to be way sicker. But that's what record stores are for, right?
Yeah, record stores. How have you regretted owning the mount you own at any point during your constant moves?
Yes, many times.
You're
And,
like, I'm paying for all this long after I
Yep.
purchased it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty funny. Man, they are heavy. I've never owned records before, but I just moved in with my girlfriend and she had like a collection. I was like, holy crap, these are
It's
heavy.
ridiculous.
And then you got
Yeah,
the
it's
player
ridiculous.
and the speakers and everything, and it's like, okay, now it's cool looking though, and
It's cool looking. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
still
don't know,
arguably the best sound too.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I mean, as I do more and more work for bands, like
Mhm.
there's nothing like holding a record in my hands that I like created, you know?
Oh, that
Oh,
must
yeah.
be
That is so
awesome.
cool to me.
That's got to be amazing.
It's really cool. It's like my favorite feeling. And you know, anytime I talk about like this type of work with someone and they're like, well, you shouldn't limit yourself to just album artwork. Like I don't, but I love doing album artwork the most for that reason, because it's this like eternal thing in your hands. It's just so cool.
Yeah, no, that is a great point. Wait, can I ask you guys a question that's just a question that I should probably Google, but I'd rather ask you guys?
Yeah.
You can ask anything, man.
Okay, on a record player, you've got the needle at the front, and then what do you call the thing that the needle's attached to?
The tone arm.
The arm. Okay, all the way to the
Yeah.
back of the tone arm, there's a thing that spins. It says 1.5, 2, 2.5. What's that for?
That's a counterweight.
Okay, and when you change it, does it change how heavy, how high it goes up, how much it weighs?
No, it changes how much pressure it puts on the vinyl.
Oh, where do I want it
And
at?
the
Is there a
reason you would
default?
adjust that differently generally is where you have the needle, right?
Mhm.
Those are interchangeable to different types of, most people call them
Needles.
needles, but depending on how heavy the needle is, some are heavier than others, so you have to counterbalance it so that it floats and not too heavy.
All right, I got to figure out how to balance this. Cool, thank you for letting me ask you guys and not having. It was like too many things to like figure. I should have just looked up parts of a record player. But
Yeah.
now I can
Yeah,
ask
but the card,
people. And,
you know, the what most people think of as a needle is called a cartridge, and different cartridges are different weights.
do you DJ?
Basically, yeah.
I know
Makes
you do.
podcasts, so
No,
Yeah,
he
way too many years, man.
he DJs too. Also, right? Don't you? Am I crazy? Or your brother?
Say that again?
Did your brother DJ or something?
No.
Oh, what's the person who lived in Michigan that did something on the?
Oh, my brother-in-law, yeah.
Oh my God, I was so close.
I know, I just wasn't.
Jesus Christ, Galaxy
Yeah,
Quest
my
and brother-in-law.
He was well known in
Getting
Detroit.
beat up today.
Yeah, TV and radio in Detroit. He's 1956 Billboard DJ of the Year.
wow.
So
That's before I was born.
I'm curious, Benjamin, on your vinyl.
Yeah.
Do you collect rare vinyl too?
No, man, I can't afford that.
Okay.
I wish. I mean, I have a couple that were gifts to me that are very close to me. Speaking of Pink Floyd, I actually have a live demo from when they were like writing Dark Side of the Moon.
Cool.
It's called like Year of the Comet or something like that, and it's just like a start to finish live, like one mic in a room take of them playing Dark Side of the Moon front to back, and it's like totally different than the record ended up.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to listen to. I love that record a lot.
Do you do a lot of work to that kind of music? Do you do a lot of work while you're listening to that?
Yeah, when I'm not doing anything like a music video or whatever that I need to listen to, I do love to like zone out stuff for sure.
All right, Steve, why don't you pull up the image? But while you're pulling up the image, unless you had another question, Steve, before we move on.
No, I would just say, for those people who haven't experienced vinyl, and like I collect rare vinyl and rare CDs, and so I have a lot of what's known as a half-speed master vinyl. And
Ooh.
there's just nothing like listening to really good vinyl.
All right, I got to get on your guys' level. Yo, quick question. I know you've toured, Benjamin. When you tour, do you use shower shoes or not use
Oh.
shower shoes?
Um,
Well, that's good, Steve. You're good. You can pull it up, Steve. That was the idea.
that's a great question,
Well,
and
we
I
gotta-
was
we
totally
gotta-
not expecting you to ask me that. I will if I feel it's necessary. You know, if we're doing like a KOA or like, you know, some sketchy place, then yes. But if it's, you know, a friend's house or like a relatively nice hotel, I don't know.
What's your cutoff for a
I'm
relatively nice hotel? Like Best Western or motel? You know what I mean? Like where do you?
oh, those are bougie, man.
That's what I'm saying. I
Uh,
don't know. I was just trying to list things I knew. They are nice.
we
Free
usually
breakfast.
rock. Yeah, the free breakfast is sweet.
That's great.
I don't know. We usually rock like Motel 6 or Red Roof Inn. You know those.
Everybody in one room
cheaper.
vibe. That-
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I know how it goes. Were you one of the
Sleeping on
lucky?
the floor.
I was gonna say, were you a lucky bed sleeper or not?
I honestly will take the floor. Just
Yeah.
like leave me alone.
for
I
the
don't
team.
want to be near anybody. Yeah.
That's fair. This is van tour life.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey,
I'm usually like up early and driving too, anyway. So
respect. All right, we've got the image. What is the name of the subject of this image? Oh,
what do you mean?
The person that's in the photo. What's their name?
Jamal Plummer.
Jamal
his
Plummer.
name.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. So you, Steve, you want to take it? Steve has a podcast called Behind the Shot, by the way, which is awesome, where he basically goes in depth on people's photographs, and that's kind of the vibe here. Is Steve do a little compact Behind the Shot with the good questions?
Cool.
I'll jump in,
And-
maybe.
So this image to me was perfect for this use, as we saw with what people turned in, because it's such a blank slate, including Jamal's look, the framing, the coloring. So I want to start with when you got him in front of your camera, the background color choice, was that intentional, or was it just the wall that was behind you or the backdrop that you had? Were you going for a color match between his skin tones and the wall?
Not really. No. I mean, we shot in a studio, so we did a bunch of different backdrops. We did even like the most predominant images that were used for the album artwork as a whole were, you know, all the lights off, one single light right above his head, just heavy shadow kind of vibe. But it kind of was like, I didn't have like an idea of where I fully wanted to end up from the beginning. We went into the album knowing that we wanted to have this kind of like sci-fi, you know, Ziggy Stardust feeling creature.
That's the 70s again. That's amazing.
Like, so we had this idea to like have like a completely like hairless, like anamorphic creature almost. And, you know, I hired a friend of mine, Haley Stipes, who's a makeup artist in New York, to do the like skin blending and stuff.
Mhm.
And then we just kind of like shot a bunch of different stuff. And I was, you know, I had a rough idea of what I wanted it to look like, but I went into it under the mentality of like, I'm just going to create a bunch of stuff for myself and then go in deep in Photoshop afterwards. So, you know, I guess the color was intentional just because I'm really drawn to like primary colors, but it wasn't any more intentional after that.
So the look then, if you wanted that kind of alien space, Ziggy Stardust type feel, old David Bowie character,
Mm-hmm.
did you coach this look? Did you
A
just
little
say, hey, Jamal, look that way? I mean, how deep did you get into, I want an androgynous straight
Right.
face?
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, our inspirations were Ziggy Stardust. Our inspirations were like subhuman, like anamorphic kind of like robot creatures. So my instructions to Jamal were like, you don't have any feelings going on here. You're just like you're existing until your next command, basically.
I like that.
We, you know, there was a lot of the shots were straight on, just like staring into the camera, because obviously he has like a ton of symmetry, especially with the makeup. But
And the nice long neck is so flattering to this.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, we just kind of wanted to go for like a droney look, I would say, the droney like anamorphic feel. And he channeled it really, really well. I mean, he knew exactly what we were trying to do, and he just, gave this like blank stare the whole time, and it worked perfect.
The tattoos, I'm assuming, are real
They are real,
because
yeah.
they're in the raw, so they got to be. Or was it the makeup artist? I guess.
Nope, they're real. Yeah.
Okay, so if this is a raw and this is the framing out of camera,
Mhm.
were you leaving the space? I mean, obviously you chose to crop in tight to one shoulder in this framing, shoot portrait orientation. Did you leave that space at the top thinking, I've got to leave somewhere for billboard type text, and you didn't know where you were going to put the text? Or was that just you were using center focus point and the center focus point landed right on the eye?
Good point. I feel like, I mean, this is probably something that a lot of people that are watching this can resonate with. Like, living in like an Instagram world, your brain almost kind of automatically goes to like, this has to fit in a 4x5,
Right.
So I naturally like see that way in general. But I also kind of subconsciously like to work with a lot of negative space. I think it comes from that like graphic design aspect of the stuff that I do. Is I like to be able to have something that I can like, you could take him and down to like the tiny corner of the image if you really needed to. So I kind of naturally just go for that like freedom.
White space.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I try not to like limit myself into something too much before I get it into the computer, because I know that once it's in the computer, I love to just like go down a rabbit hole and find something new.
You could stop it. I try not to limit myself because it's very apparent. You do a good
Yeah,
job of going in any direction.
Anna asks a really good question in the chat, or it's not even really a question, but it's a statement, but it leads me to a question, and that is the bright, smooth yellow against the model's skin tone is so beautiful, and the soft diffusing light is like a chef's kiss. And I can see the softbox on the left as a catch light in the eye. I can also see, so your key light is camera left. You've got a secondary light camera right that appears to be either farther away or much more of a pin spot, maybe a strip. I can't really tell.
I might have shot it at the ceiling.
Oh, so that could be a ceiling light. I was going to say maybe a beauty dish because it is a round catch light, the second catch light.
There was a beauty dish. Man, I shot this in January, so I'm trying to like remember what we were doing. I think
that's
it was
only 1 month ago.
Dish. Yeah, right.
It was the last time you went out of the house.
Exactly. Yeah. I think you're right. There was a beauty dish on the right and then a bigger softbox on the left.
Okay, so then with that in mind, what are you thinking when you're lighting? Because the shadow under the chin is amazing.
I mean,
it's there, but it's like almost gone.
Very subtle.
Did you have reflectors underneath?
No.
So what are you thinking as you light him?
I just, again, I'm photo wise, I always just tend to operate like very rudimentarily. Like I was saying before, a lot of the other shots that we ended up using for other stuff from this were all the lights off, one, beauty dish on one side, heavy shadows. That stuff is like so simple and sick. It's like you could never go wrong with that.
No, I love the drama of that.
Yeah,
kind of light.
it's so easy, and there's no reason to like reinvent the wheel with that stuff. Create like a great canvas for you to work with down the road, rather than like spend hours, trying to, I don't know. That's just my.
But this is hard.
Process.
I mean, so when you did light this, do you remember? Did you start with one light, get it right, and then add a second, or did you just set them both up, let them fire, and go, let's see where they land?
I do a lot of.
I like that second description.
Seeing where it goes. But I think I originally started with just the beauty dish and realized I wanted more of the background there. Trying to get as much of like a flat yellow as possible.
The beauty dish looks high. The softbox though looks almost head height because again, there's no shadow really here.
And if you guys in the chat who maybe aren't photographers, just like editing, just give a Google softbox beauty dish. It'll come up and show you what Steve's talking about here. Well, they're just different light modifiers that you can use.
It's a way to diffuse or shape the light the way that you basically want it or need it. So
And beauty dishes are awesome.
say that again.
I said beauty dishes are awesome. We love
Except
them.
they suck to store. They're the most annoying.
Oh yeah, awful.
I'm like, this thing takes up so much space, and you can't put anything on top of it.
Yeah.
They have collapsible ones, but I've got to follow up, Benjamin, because as people that don't know what a beauty dish is are Googling it.
Right.
Explain why beauty dishes are awesome. Because they don't work for everything, right? I mean, you're not gonna use a beauty dish the way you're gonna use a softbox at all.
Right.
So what is it about a beauty dish that is awesome?
I mean, if you're asking me, like, technically, you're probably the guy to answer that question. But I think what it comes down to
I
is
buy
just
that.
the way that the light reflects out of like the circular surface just falls really well on like facial features.
It's got a hard cutoff too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't feather the shadows and light.
Mm-hmm.
They're apparent.
But it's great straight on. I don't know a lot of people that use beauty dishes off at an angle. Do you do that, Adam?
I don't know what that
or do
question
you normally
means.
have it like right in front of them like a ring light?
I don't know, man. I just like put them in front of it and spin them around and see what looks cool, and then I go with that. It's not like which I'm sure Benjamin can relate on. It's like too much. Like, I feel like, especially when you're working with artists, and we talked about this one time on one of these things, it's like the more restrictive you get with your lighting, if you tell an artist they have to stand right there to get that perfect light, it just doesn't work. So I find myself using every lighting instrument in ways that shouldn't be used and just going with it, because when you get the shot, you get the shot, and you just have to hopefully light a little more broad than, try to line them up and make them do these things. It just looks like math.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Which might work for this setting, but with like,
I mean, this is a portrait shoot, really. Yeah. You know what's interesting? Right. I just noticed. What was this shot on? Because the edges of his skin blending into the background in a raw image,
the focus changes a little.
It almost looks like a brush was dragged across it in Photoshop.
It was Litro. It was a Litro camera.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
This was shot on a Fuji X Pro 2 with a 16 to 55 millimeter. So, because it's crop, it's 24 to 70. And I mean, I can't remember
on the zoom end or on the wide end.
What do you mean?
Would you have shot this closer to the 24 or the 70?
I think I was right in the middle. I think you actually pulled up the specs on the raw editing website.
Connor's Connor's doing it up. Yeah, I got it. I'll load it.
I want to say it was around 35, which
32.
equates to 50.
32,
yeah, so almost 50.
32 at 5.6 and 1/800th. So I don't know what fast light. Yeah.
But crop sensor, so close to 50.
Oh wait, no, I'm looking at the image for next week. Sorry, I didn't realize that was up there. I don't know what this is at.
Yeah, I didn't see this one actually on the website when I went to just now to look at it.
Yes, Connor updated it before shooting his wedding to help us out, so that's all good. We'll get him next time.
So when you did this shoot, did you shoot them all portrait? Did you do some landscape orientation?
Yeah, there's a bunch that are landscape. Again, like this photo shoot was created, it was for an entire album campaign. I needed to have enough material to like have assets for front and back cover, inserts, lyric sheets, all that stuff, so we did a bunch of stuff, bunch of different poses, facial expressions, all that stuff. I would say 2/3 of them ended up being landscape. And the portrait stuff, I don't know. I kind of just, I personally prefer portrait mode, or, I don't want to say portrait mode, but
orientation. Yeah. Nowadays it brings the phone into mind.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about
that. I love portrait orientation. It's kind of how my eye sees things. I put most of my work in that orientation. But there was a bunch of landscape images from this shoot. Yeah.
So here's.
Ooh, he's doing it. He when he has a good question, he goes like this.
I'm being analyzed.
Here it is.
Okay, but here's the thing. we talked earlier about
Burn the hands.
not getting down on yourself, and we all need motivation sometimes, and don't compare yourself, but at the same time compare yourself for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
When you were in the studio shooting this, by the way, do you shoot tethered? Or
No.
was this just looking at Chimp in the back of the camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
When did you know you had something? I mean, did you know right then, or do you go through a shoot thinking, I don't know if I have it yet. I don't, you know what I mean? That
Yeah,
kind
I
of,
mean,
Good question.
I
good
still
question.
have to get that winning shot, or did you know?
That
Adam
always,
Adam is nodding his head because we've all been there.
Well, good question
yeah,
too.
it happens to everybody. It happens to everybody. I have those experiences regularly. This project specifically, I feel very confident saying that it was just a nail in the coffin front to back. Like, even up to now, like into release day and putting all this stuff out, it's like everybody collectively killed this shit, and we're just all so amped on how it turned out. I knew that this was sick from just from when we got like the makeup on him, and we were like, oh yeah, this is so cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something where it starts with an idea. You have an idea, you like just power through until the idea starts to like surface. And once I saw it before I even got it in a camera, like once I saw it in real life, I was like, okay, sick. And then just like started running with it from there. You get that like fuel, and you just want to keep rocking it and seeing where it can go. So
love it. Absolutely love it. You want to have you want to do some talk through on your editing process is different, so this is going to be interesting to me.
Yeah, if you want to, you want to share your screen again, or Steve, are you saying share your screen, or are you doing it differently?
No, yeah, him share his screen. Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions while he's doing this, obviously, so usually the people that we have on here are more photo based, and they edit. As this is definitely using photo as a component, and editing is a big part of the process. So take advantage of this. If you guys have any questions, feel free to chat, and otherwise we're gonna. Yeah, I don't know if you want. Yeah, I don't know.
Because you're going to spend most of the time, I'm guessing, in Photoshop, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you mind if people ask you Photoshop questions if they have them?
Yeah, I'm really bad at like keeping an eye on the chat.
No,
so
we'll siphon them into you. Yeah, no, you don't have to do that. We'll siphon them into you. Don't even worry about it.
All right, cool.
Yeah, we're not asking you to do that. But yeah, if you want to just talk about, I don't know, talk about you when you first get this into Photoshop and you look at the image. Like, is there something you do to play around with it to see how you can kind of twist and turn it, or do you know what you're gonna do, or what's the vibe?
Yeah. So what you're seeing here, so this file is the original file that I created. This is like pretty much the end result here, and then I ended up taking it over. Once I started laying it out for the record over here to a different version. But this is basically the main image. What I first went through was, because I knew we wanted to have this kind of like anamorphic, hairless, smooth creature, I just went in and did like an insane amount of like cleaning and brush work to smooth the skin over and stuff. I did as much as I like possibly could to the point of it almost started to look computer-aided, and
but that was the goal, right?
I didn't want it to have that,
or no?
Yeah, I wanted it to be right on the line. I didn't want it to look like something that was created in Photoshop, but I wanted it to be as like perfect as humanly possible.
Okay, cool.
So once I cleaned it up, you'll see on the side here.
Define clean it up. What did you use to clean it up?
Oh yeah, we're going in deep.
A lot of.
I mean, you don't have to do it, but I'm just saying, did you just use a blur tool, or I mean, what?
I remember a lot of like. I would create like another layer. I would, do like a mass like Gaussian blur, and then soft light it on top. Do another layer. Like,
as a blending mode.
Even just do it. Yeah. So do another layer like.
Oh, this is about to get really good. This is.
Like blur
Steve,
to the point
chill
where,
out, Steve. You need to relax.
And then,
I love it.
Overlay it or whatever in a way, and then you throw like a mask on and get like a brush that's like super feathered, lower the flow, and then kind of just like go through and like fine tune it, playing around with that, and as well as like the blur tool, obviously. I like using, I don't even know what the hell it's called, but J, whatever J is, this guy.
Clone stamp / healing tool.
Healing brush.
Oh, yeah.
I like the healing brush a lot.
J.
You know.
I like that.
J.
I don't know what it's called. I use the hotkey.
I didn't know it was a J.
I only know.
In my head now, it's like, oh, it's a J.
Yeah. Whatever that one does. I like using that a lot. Yeah, I don't know. This was definitely the most time consuming because I didn't really know. I don't, work in like high beauty fashion where they do this stuff all the time.
High
so
beauty
I was
fashion.
like,
I like that.
whatever it's called.
No, I like that.
So this
Otherwise
was like,
known as HBF.
Yes. Yeah. This was a little bit of like unknown territory for me. I guess just Photoshop wise in general. I definitely did a lot of like going on YouTube and typing in like, how do you, clean up skin to the point of it looking fake? That there's a lot of YouTube involved.
Did you use
in this.
Flern?
What is that?
I don't know. It's a really
Aaron Nace's Flern. It's a great. Aaron Nace is a Photoshop genius, an amazing instructor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hashtag ad, not really an ad, but we're pretending it is.
Hey, if you want to do Flern, I've got a discount code.
Oh wow,
right,
chill out. There we go. Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. So, once I had the initial photo, like whatever you want to call it,
Your
blurred out
your
enough.
canvas.
Yeah, canvas. This was like in my head, like a starting point. This is where if I could have made the photograph the model look like this out of the camera, this is where I saw it in my head initially.
Okay.
And then from there, it's really just a bunch of like messing around. Like I remember I like inverted the layer. And so from once I like inverted it and changed the color scheme, you play with like the hue tool, and you could just take it a million different directions. It's just like, pressing buttons and stuff.
Colorize isn't even clicked, and this is where we're getting, guys.
Yeah. No, I don't. That's boring. Cool, but like, yeah, I think there's
crazy
a lot
colors.
That's a good point to make. It is something that I find myself doing a lot. Is color schemes are like so important to me, at least, and like this, like someone mentioned in the chat, like this already is such a great color scheme. So even if you are to take that color scheme and change it to
I love that
other one, it's gonna be good no matter what you put it into. So like,
dude, how did you not do all this stuff? I would like go.
I want a copy of each.
Yeah, it's crazy. Right? I just want to watch this on repeat.
Oh, the red was so good.
Yeah, the red is cool.
Right there.
Steve, is that one of the few you can see really well?
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Sorry,
when I was like coming up with like artwork ideas for the record, I did deliver the band like 6 full different designs based off, because it was so, you could take it a million different ways. I don't normally do that, but I was like, I have 6 full ideas based off of all this stuff just because it's such a blank canvas. So I guess carrying on here, I had this like inverted version, and then I added this color change here, which brought me to like the red character, which really caught my eye. I loved like this like on fire looking person.
Yeah, it looks scary now, like almost like the person's in distress.
Right. So this file is that all of that flattened basically, and then underneath it is a thresholded version. I love using threshold tool. It's like a digital version of like printing something out. It like tangibilizes that stuff. I guess we could do it.
That's the word of the day for sure. Tangibilizes. We're doing it.
Yeah. Everyone, this tool is so sick. So you throw it in there. You get to like, I played around with that too, like just the eyes existing.
Wow.
But I think I ended up somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being an invert, which brought us to this, which is the same layer, pretty much.
You doing it live.
So I had this image. I had then the thresholded version, just the black and white. And from there, I just kind of started like, I inverted that. I think the red plus the white was where I ended up. Yeah. So I found through like color changing, I found this red version and just had the idea because the only thing that I thought was missing was like the pupils. So I believe I created a copy, turned on the black and white version, and then I think, went through and like
Masked out the eyes.
masked out the eyes. That's a crude version, but yeah, went through, masked out the eyes, and
Oh,
pulled
makes
that
sense.
together to get here at the
Are
end.
you on a Wacom tablet?
I am, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I love the tablet.
Looks like you're in a house.
I am in a house
Okay.
on a tablet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, tablet.
Yeah,
It is Boston. It is Massachusetts after all.
Boston. The tablets are amazing to me. It's like, if I could show you my hand here, it's just like being able to do that super quick is like so helpful.
Just cutting out all the
it
little
does get a little
bullshit.
So
it gets a little
you're using a
twitchy
wheel?
sometimes. No, I pinch mode with your fingers like an
I
iPhone.
got you.
Yeah.
They've gotten so much better over the past 15 years. When they first came out, it was like, well, better and affordable, more affordable.
Yep.
Definitely. I really love them a lot. Plus, like the pen feature, especially if you're doing like
Pressure sensitive, right?
So nice. Or like, you're coming in here with like trying to draw something, having a pen is like so much easier and it looks so much more
try
eloquent.
doing that on a trackpad and making it
exactly.
Look smooth. Yeah.
Theoretically.
Yeah. So the only other thing that I wanted to mention, which I believe we talked about earlier in regards to like my process or like tangibilizing stuff or whatever. I mentioned that a lot of the time I end up printing out the image on like laser jet printer, just going to Staples, and then putting it on a flatbed scanner and scanning it in at a super high resolution. So you get that ink bleed and that texture from the paper. But sometimes I will just kind of fake it in the computer. Not in the sense that the texture that I'm using is fake, that is real, but not actually printing out the final image. What I mean by that is this layer that I use here, that if I just fill the opacity, this is a image that I created years ago by just putting a black square on a piece of paper and printing it out and scanning that in at like a stupid high resolution. And I use it as a texturizer for a lot of stuff. I think it was at 70 here. So just by taking that and like layering it onto this file, it like gives it works, especially when you use that thresholded tool to like make those colors so left and right, I guess, for lack of a better word. Like
very contrasty,
exactly.
Now with you zoomed in like that, zoom back in on the neck like that. Now out a little bit so we can see the edge. Now turn that texture off.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's Steve's favorite look. That's the worn record look Steve's been raving about. Steve, you want this all over your house, right?
Yeah, it's the Benjamin look.
Apply it to everything.
Yeah, I love it. It works perfect, and you can bend it, a million different ways. Like it's, even if sometimes if I don't want it to, here we go. We're gonna have a problem now. Like I'll use the like raw edit feature on Photoshop, like that kind of transfers to Lightroom, where
it goes to the that goes to their editor, camera raw editor.
Oh yeah.
I'll go like that and like drop it super low, or like add the texture super high or the clarity super high if I want it to be
Contrast,
even more
grainy
or whatever you want to call it. That's like to the extreme, but finding something that like you can use in real life. You want it to have that like real life element, but you also want to have the like bandwidth that Photoshop allows you. So how can you like find the best way to reach that like epicenter? I think is how my brain works a lot. And then I guess from here, how we got to this final image. I brought over the thresholded version, and I brought over a version of the red without with like the blacks removed.
And these are what you gave them. You kind of gave them a bunch of options. You said, right? So this
Yeah,
that's like
I
real.
kind of like just that even.
That's
yeah, it's crazy,
dude.
right?
I don't think you've shown me something I didn't like yet.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So
But even the pattern you get from the transparent background, which is really just transparency, but even that pattern looks cool.
It's kind of cool, right? Yeah, so it's just playing around. I really like, it's super subtle, but I love the way the black and white threshold version, like right down here, fills out the chest a little bit. Oh, maybe not when it's just like sometimes it pops up. It's like really pretty. The text, and these were a couple color variations that I gave them a bunch of color ways for each option. That the blue one was a big contender. We were really close to using the blue one and the purple.
It can be a limited edition vinyl print run.
Exactly. There's that texture again. I ended up, I think, orienting it to the right, because if you look back here, there's that kind of like toner
right
edge
like a
to
line
it where it just missed and stretched it out, made it a little thicker there. This is some Photoshop magic that I love to use. Quick shout out to True Grit Texture Supply. It's a Photoshop brush and asset company. They're really, really great with this like tangible, distressed True Grit.
True Grit.
And so this
that's
is
how you're getting those weathered edges and stuff.
Yep. So this is a toner brush that they created to specifically look like that printed out feel. So I'll grab it here and I'll create another layer, and we'll do it in red so you can see it better. But I'll just like blow it up.
Nate Hill knows about it, and he does graphics as well. So
yeah, Nate's work is incredible. That photo that he made of this was like one of my favorites.
Dude's a psycho, and he's real too. We streamed with him once. He's confirmed real human.
Oh hell yeah!
You know what? That's really cool with a little touch of red in that texture.
Yeah. So that exploring into like realms of like custom brushes and stuff like that is something I've really recently just started looking into. It's a whole can of worms that like to this point I haven't had the time to dive into, but I'm just starting to
overwhelming.
See, it's ridiculous. Yeah. It's ridiculous. But there is a lot of cool stuff out there, and there's a lot of stuff to learn. Like for example, I've found this toner tool works best when you use it as almost a negative option, like in this text. If it's on a black background and
I see what you're saying,
black on top of it, you're basically like pulling out of the yellow,
or even just as an eraser brush.
Exactly.
Wow.
So, and then just on last note, you mentioned how you really liked this stuff.
Yeah.
That's also from True Grit. They have a lot of great versions of these. Oftentimes I'll like start with one that they've created and then build it from there. But awesome stuff that is, again, like that inspiration thing. Like there's nothing wrong with like taking something that someone did and then making it your own from there. I don't need to go in and like recreate this just to say that it was mine. Like there's a way that I can use it and make it my own and it still be beautiful.
Respect.
I just love what that gives me. That gives me the analog feel.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, I'm old enough to have had vinyl and to have held records long enough to wear the edges down or crease them or whatever. That to me makes this tactile. I feel like I can touch it.
That's my goal with everything I do, man. I want it to I want it to feel like it's right in front of you. I want it to feel like you can touch it for sure.
You struck a very personal chord with Steve this week. I'll tell you that, because he loves this, and he likes a lot of stuff, but he loves this. I can tell.
I like whiskey too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Steve, I was complimenting you. Come on, man.
I know, and I appreciate it.
You do like whiskey. What are you drinking? Diet Coke?
Gatorade.
God darn it.
Gatorade. It's the opposite of whiskey.
Yeah, it's the opposite of whiskey. It's anti-whiskey.
I didn't know whiskey had an opposite. Opposite of whiskey?
Everything's got an opposite.
Vodka,
I
maybe?
could
I
show
don't know.
you guys. So this image that I ended up creating here was actually, it's going to be used for the insert of the vinyl. So this is the full front and back, and the back is like the lyric sheet. Nobody studied the lyrics too hard because the record's not out yet, but these other alternate images, which are kind of plays off of the main album cover that I created through that thresholding tool, I love a lot. They give me such a like sci-fi mad scientist vibe.
No, it's
Jump
cool.
back to the other image for a second. The highlighted layer. What is that?
This right here.
Yeah.
So that's often I'll throw that on to, usually it's at this setting. It's like a just off-white color block that I'll put on top of like this stuff, because you see like the difference.
Yeah.
That kind of like faded paper. I mean, it's literally, I call it aged paper, but like that kind of like if
but it's just a solid color layer technically.
Yeah.
Okay.
If this if this image were to actually exist in real life, and it would have this weathering because of the time that it's existed on Earth, it would also have like hand oils, and the colors would have faded a little bit. So, trying to recreate that as much as possible, I think is the goal.
Nice.
Yeah. That's it. That's how I did it.
All right, guys. Now you can hit up Seaway and they'll hire you.
That's right.
No, but I think it's cool. I think the coolest part about, like, obviously we've had a lot of photographers on here. The coolest part about this week was almost like a case study to your job. Like, this is a real life job. This is exactly how you get hired and what working with somebody is like. And you showed us every step of the way, the thought process, the collaboration, and I like that you gave them multiple options too. That's a good place to be in. It's better than trying to scrape a bunch of things together to make one work. So.
Yeah, totally. I mean, for example, like this piece that I created is near and dear to my heart, and there's a reason that I submitted it for this project. But this was what ended up being the actual album art, which is totally different.
Oh wow, cool.
But it was my goal to create a whole like portfolio of stuff that resonated together, but also each stood well on their own.
So the one you showed us that had the lyric, that's just the insert.
Correct. That's for the the insert that the vinyl will go inside the jacket.
Steve's buying this vinyl. He probably doesn't even listen to the band, but he's buying it. I can tell.
I'm about to.
Yo, the record is sick.
So here's a
question.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I'm not sure yet.
All right, let's hear it. I'm excited. Let's go, Steve.
You are, I guess I'm seeing people in here. There's been some really cool comments. Like Bryn said, very inspiring. And Megan said, so creative. I definitely need to play around with Photoshop again soon. And Brendan said, I love how these streams always give me another level of skill or another way of thinking to add to my tools of things to do to an edit. And so I guess my question to you is, at your level with your creativity, so many people now do 99% in Lightroom, and they say, I rarely jump into Photoshop or Affinity or whatever. If somebody were to go, okay, I want to jump into Photoshop.
What the hell is Affinity?
Affinity Photo is a Photoshop alternative, yeah.
No. Okay. Sorry. Continue your question, Steve. It was a good setup. I apologize. Removing myself.
No, but I'm just saying, if somebody were to jump into Photoshop and they really don't have a lot of experience, and you were to give them one tip, look, when you go into Photoshop, if you do this, you'll get it easier.
Okay.
What's your single Photoshop tip to help?
Oh, just one, Steve? You're making them pick one?
You can give, or your top 3 or 10.
Yeah. So I learned Photoshop by creating digital collages. If actually, I'll pull up my website. I have some stuff on there. Stream Inception right now.
Yeah, let me go. I can actually give you I'll give you privacy while you pull it up, just so you got it. Let me know when you're ready. You good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, cool.
So for example, this was collage. So I made this like fake National Geographic magazine a while ago of collage images. And all of these images were scanned in from actual vintage National Geographic mags and then digitally collaged in Photoshop together. And this was kind of how I like taught myself how to use
That's
Photoshop.
a collage? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, because
these
the
are
plane
all-
doesn't have a fold in it. That was brilliant.
Yeah. So, I had an idea for this project, and I also knew that I needed to learn how to use this software. And so I kind of just like figured it out as I was creating this stuff. Basically, this was one piece, and I was like, how do I blend them? And that's comes down to, literally like masking and making them an image, as well as like blending the colors and making them look like
That's an
happened in the
Aaron
same
Nace
world.
Flern lesson right there.
Yeah. So honestly, the mask tool is so useful. Like I'm trying to think how I could even like start to explain it, but like
Photoshop
you
sucked
have
before it existed.
yeah. This tool right here, you're gonna create a mask, and
Black means it doesn't show through, and white means it does show.
Yep.
Exactly. Yep. You're
Without-
creating a transparency.
Without just the important part is it's not destructive, guys. So even though he's erasing something, he can always bring it back if he paints it white again. So
Right
or
there,
just
right
disables the mask temporarily. Yeah.
and you can play around with those colors, the black and white, the same way you would anything else. You can adjust its contrast. You can adjust its levels. You can paint different brush styles. So it allows you a lot more versatility than
And it's not just black and white. It's shades of grays are medium transparency. So
Right. So if I were to go here, make it gray, you're doing half the image. So, maybe you use the full black for the main part, and then you come in on the edge here and you make it gray so that you're like feathering it in to make it blend, because in real life, nothing is that perfect,
Right.
So the mask tool is huge for me, definitely.
Good tip. I agree with that one. That's a good one. Often overlooked maybe by people who are used to Lightroom and not Photoshop.
Because it's something everybody uses and you don't think of the power behind it.
This
Megan asked a good question. Megan said, "What's your usual turnaround time for something like this?"
Turn around.
Well, this project was huge. Like, for example, going back to my site here, and if I pull up, this is like everything that's released for this project. Front and back cover. This is one of the music videos. Layout for the vinyl, the inserts, the CDs, all this stuff. There was a lot that went into this. It was a couple months.
Good job.
Honestly. Thank you. Couple months, I would say like 2 months on average is a good amount of time to not like feel like you're rushing yourself, and allow yourself to like cover the whole scope of a project like this, I think.
And it's not like I would say some people do designs for merch or something, and they dish those out like 1 or 2 a day, or they dish them out quite quickly. This is a little bit different here, guys, because he's drawing from inspiration, from art, there's a lot of intention behind this. It's not just a design. There's everything you see was a decision that Benjamin made. So it's
sometimes in collaboration with others.
Yes.
Right. Totally. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean it's building blocks. It starts with that original raw photo, and we finally end up here. But that doesn't happen like I didn't see this stuff in my head in the full scope from the beginning. You're building as you go. Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Amazing. You want to look at some submissions, Adam, or what do you want to do?
Yes, I do. I'm trying to make sure Adobe Creative Suite doesn't open and start downloading an update to an app I don't use right now.
Should I stop my screen share here?
Yes, sir. And Steve, you ready?
I'm good anytime.
All right, so Benjamin, we'll kind of go through them. Steve will be your hand here, and if there's anything you want to go in on closer and talk about, let me know. Otherwise, Steve will kind of, pull them up.
And
Okay.
I'm going to start on the Instagram tags, partially because of this one. That reminds me, the way they wrote stereo, the old vinyl, that reminds me of what we were talking about earlier, something like a Pink Floyd album.
Yeah, totally. This was one of my favorites. I love the rainbow coming out of the eye. That's so sick. That's kind of funny actually, because one of the single arts that I created for a single that's coming out in a couple weeks has a similar thought process of like
Did you
rays
make it
shooting
9
out of
hours
the
ago?
eyeballs.
Did you make it 9
No,
hours?
I made it several months ago.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, that's kind of cool how that happened like that.
I loved the simplicity of this one.
Well, we
Yep.
went through all these.
Great idea.
Kind of like the colors that you had done. The one thing I thought would have been neat here was if you took like the one at the far right and flipped it the other way.
Oh, what up, Brooke? Brooke's not here today.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting. Almost like Paul McCartney in the middle of Abbey Road was the one that was barefoot with a black rose.
Exactly.
Just
That
to have
one
one that
difference,
was
yeah.
different.
Yes.
This.
Crazy.
You know what this is? Actually, Shawn Mendes' photographer hit me up and goes, they use the same app that Shawn Mendes used for one of his covers, they think.
Oh,
It
really?
was a fan edit that they ended up using for an album cover or something. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Huh. I
Just-
love that stuff.
Yeah. That's awesome.
This one specifically reminds me a lot of Caitlin Dargan's work. She does this type of stuff in Photoshop where she'll like
Yes.
cut a head in half or stuff, and that like really made me think of that.
And the fact that it's folded down. This one is
Crazy.
yeah.
Wow.
I had not seen that one until just now.
That's
Amazing.
some people took it to another level of editing, which I think is inspired by your editing and your image and your stuff. So it's cool to see how like people get primed based on what they're doing.
I like the black
Yeah,
and white
totally.
here.
A lot
Nice
of
to-
people said that like the best part about this was how blank of a canvas it was, and I think that
Oh.
comes through in what people did.
Just real fast. There you are, Brooke. Brooke, that was the first image.
Is Brooke here?
Yeah, but we didn't see them until right now. They didn't talk at all. So what up, Cornish Gamer? Sorry. They've been hiding out. They're like probably our longest subscriber and
There's
biggest fan. There's Nate, yeah.
Yo, Nate, if you are watching, this
Nate's
shit
here.
is sick.
Nate's here.
This
Thanks.
is insane. And what I love is where the face is cut out, the like edge where the skin thickness changes throughout,
Mhm. Yep.
which really sells it. Oh, just wow.
The shadow and like it
Oh,
looks
yeah.
so real. How do you
Shadow inside.
That's to me. How do you do that? And that's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, Nate's in Australia too. So he's in
that's
the future.
amazing.
What up, Nate?
Just-
He says I'm here in chat.
Great job,
Killing
Nate.
me. This was actually nice, subtle, just simple.
hmm
It looks like there's some fans of the band too, because Big Vibe was like the full album art, right? Like they had to know a little bit more than what we released. I mean, we didn't say anything about that. I know that you
Right.
posted something, but they had to dig a little
All right,
bit
let's
deeper.
jump to.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's any. Yeah, this was a nice one. Oh, that's a video.
Oh.
Big Vibe. All right.
Oh. I love the primary colors.
People are about to get
Very
hired
nice.
straight off their Instagram posts. That's what's gonna happen. here.
Yes.
Right? I mean, seriously. Let's jump over here.
All
See
right.
what we got here.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that
this
one
was
looks
this
crazy.
blew me away.
I can't even. I don't even know. Like
That's Brooke.
the funny thing. Oh, really? Wow. Great job, Brooke. The funny thing is, I don't know if you were listening, Brooke, but when we were planning this photo shoot, the goal was to have no hair.
Yeah.
So it's so funny that you
You
took this
undid
option,
all
but it
that
looks
we've
so cool.
done.
Yeah, right. All that
Brooke
makeup
just let you
work
know
is-
you didn't need the makeup artist. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see here. Let me find.
I like the subtle changed one too. Like if you go up one, LeBron James right there, years back. Nope, down a little
Right
bit.
here.
Nope, one
Oh,
more.
right here.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like it's not very
Yeah.
much, but it's just a little bit. I think they just
Yeah.
sharpened
Very
and
nice.
And
Yeah.
sometimes that's all it takes.
yo, you
Yeah.
had such a good frame. The image was so well
Yes.
framed that they didn't need to be cropped at all. It was like, I don't know how I could do this better. Well, that's cool.
Mhm.
I kind of like that because they went super narrow and tall.
Yeah,
I could see that hanging on a wall.
that's such
and then
an
the colored
interesting crop,
eyebrows.
Yeah. Yeah, that coloring is sweet.
Yeah, the colored eyebrows were awesome.
I really
Every
liked
now and then,
Steve, if you would scroll back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. That one right there with the double on the right.
Yeah.
I specifically loved how they lined up
Every
the
night is
eye.
emo night.
That's
Yeah, they did
incredible.
line
They
up. Yeah.
lined up the eye.
Yeah, that is so cool to me. Genius.
Wow. Yeah, that's the attention to detail.
Yep.
Huh.
Let's see here. Where was it? Oh, these were nice. I love this kind of halftone effect.
It
Wow.
looks like a
Playing card.
what are they? Yeah,
Like a playing card, yeah.
Tarot card or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And did you notice the eyelashes?
Yo, I thought tarot was pronounced Terra
so cool.
until this year. You ever have those things where you're like out of the loop and you just don't know about something, and then you're like, oh, that's just been wrong my whole life. That's one of the things I learned this year.
Yeah, the two eyelashes. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is cool. I like the underside eyelash.
Whoa, I didn't see that.
Also, Brooke
Wow.
went to town.
Brooke, did you upload that today? Was it the 30th? You psycho. That's because they just put it up 6 minutes ago.
That's
Yeah.
so sick.
They were in chat. They're like, sorry, I was editing the photo again. That's what they said. I just
There's
finished
that.
they said.
Great texture. Great
Yeah.
use of
What
negative
up?
space at the bottom, taking the character out and into
Yeah.
the background. That's awesome.
And
Yeah,
I
that's
don't want to
Nathan.
be a loner. Hello. Sorry, somebody that we looked at was in chat, so I wanted to say hey to him.
That's Odin. Is Odin here today?
No, Odin's also named Nathan. That's a cool. Yeah, I like that. The thing that I found distracting about a lot of people's images was the sharpening of the skin, quote unquote, blemishes. I wish they had the only like I have no qualms with people's skin blemishes. I think it's fine. However, if you sharpen them and make them more noticeable, sometimes it can be distracting from the subject.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that Odin did a good job there.
It's-
Yeah.
Right. Especially when like the makeup work before the image was done in intent to like hide them, you
Mhm.
know. I think that like
You got to meet
hair
halfway
makeup stuff, they work harmoniously. You can't
Yeah.
like go one way and then just go the other way.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But I mean, obviously, people who haven't done a shoot of this nature or level wouldn't know that. Like, you just can't get those
Right.
things out in makeup, but their job is to basically give you the base to do it. And
Right.
wow, this
Right,
is
right.
wild. Are these
Yeah,
filters or is that?
I loved this.
Are these
super
just,
cool.
Are these just filters or did they create it? I can't. Hennessy, if you're in chat, let us know. They look awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Always down for pixelation. That's sweet.
love that. This was really well done.
Janelle, I hope
Mm.
call out is a good thing. We love makeup artists. It's not that the makeup did a bad thing. It's a good thing. That's how it's supposed to work.
Oh, and
Mhm.
the one that was Every Night is Emo Night is here.
Oh, there we go. A blue fox. What?
Great work.
Let's
Mm-mm.
see. There were some nice, just clean black and whites. I loved this.
Mm. That looks like some levels of like inverting and negating stuff, which
And
I'm
like
all
a ray
about.
tracing effect
They
around
outlined
the
it.
outside.
Yeah.
Select subject. This would be the easiest Photoshop select subject thing ever.
Super cool.
Yeah, you definitely made people get more creative than anybody else in the history
Oh,
of
I
doing
didn't
this.
see
stuff.
this one.
I didn't see any of these. Wow.
This person's in.
Wow.
Actually, this one, the eyes don't line up, and it's still pretty cool.
Right. That's so cool. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, this image was a wild
we
ride.
saw that one on Instagram. Yeah,
Oh, okay, Janelle. Just
there were
making
some
sure.
really nice, just clean, simple black and whites.
Hmm.
That's
And
how
that's-
flexible this is.
I appreciate that like some people took that approach too, because I feel like wow.
Yeah, wow. That's
Joel. Good
I'm-
job, Joel.
Oh, Joel, what's up? I hope he's watching. I
Nessie
love
did
Joel.
it was
Who's-
Nessie that did the pixelated one.
Who's Joel? Is it one of
Okay.
your friends, Benjamin?
Joel is a really talented music writer. He
Oh, cool.
He's written for Substream magazine mostly, but
Okay.
just known each other for a
This
long
Joel?
time.
Yeah.
Yes, Joel Funk.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know that he dabbled in photo stuff either, but this is great.
Well, Joel's got some skill because this is
Yeah, it's awesome.
this is actually one of my faves. The color choices, the multiple layers front to back and left to right.
Yeah, It reminds me of like the red and blue glasses that you would wear at the 3D movie theater when you were a kid.
This one I don't know why. This one I liked. It was just different.
I like that framing.
Space.
It honestly reminds me of a beauty dish.
It makes me feel so relaxed to look at this image. I don't like how dark. Actually, I do like it. It just looks perfect. You know when something just looks so perfect, you feel relaxed.
I really love that left and right.
Oh, Steve, it's like up one.
Scroll up a bit.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, that is super cool. It's funny because it's similar to the thresholded version that I had on the lyric sheet.
Threshold.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yep. Dang. Well,
I like this was interesting too.
Love the texture on there.
People are trying to take your job,
Great idea.
Benjamin. Watch out.
That's okay.
I'm just kidding. As
long as we create a world where there's more stuff like this, that's all.
Yeah. As long as you're part of the big goal. This is the small. Right. This is the small goal. Small baby steps.
I actually really dug this.
Yeah, that is cool. What's up, Kyle?
Sick.
What's up, Kyle?
So the warping on the bottom.
The smarts to just put a wave ripple in the bottom right corner.
And the colors are rocking me.
The colors are rocking, yeah. Because you could have done this just straight lines all the way down, but the color choice and the ripple in the bottom right corner are what just made it wow.
And if you zoom in on the ripple a little bit, and maybe it's like just social media, but there's like a blur on it that makes me feel like I'm looking at like a projector or something.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys see that too, but it's just like slightly like stretched, like the pixels are stretched to get that like, slight blur to it.
It's really cool. Folded, yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Oh, I didn't see this one.
Wow.
Alyssa?
I need to get more like comfortable with my artistic self or something. Wow, that's beautiful.
I love that.
I'm boring. This is sick. I gotta get on these levels. I need to just like.
Remember
I'm gonna look.
When I said I suck earlier, you can't say you're boring.
Let me segue. Let me get there. All right.
I know.
I was gonna say whenever I want inspiration or I want to get a little outside my box, That's kind of weird.
Rest in peace, Tom Petty.
That's my friend Brett that I grew up with.
I was like, what is that? Is he
love
trolling
Tom Petty
you?
and I'm vegan, so that's why.
It was directed at you. Well, I was gonna say this is a good thread to look through and get outside your comfortable box.
Absolutely.
With.
Wow, they
Super
went
cool.
so far as
subtle.
to create like robot metal underneath it.
But it's like subtle. I didn't even notice it at first. That's how cool it is.
That's insane.
Subtle is a good word. Subtle with a B.
You're a Tom Petty
a lot
fan,
of people,
really?
Oh yeah. He's the man. Was the man. Is the man.
Tom Petty passed away recently, correct? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. A couple years ago.
I agree with referring to people as present tense even if they're no longer with us. I think that Tom Petty is the man.
Absolutely, especially if you leave a legacy like that.
Yeah.
Let's go. Most of the ones in Discord we've seen. Oh no, we had not seen this one.
They got political. Wow. Brooke, you edited like so many times this week. These are all Brooke.
Yeah, holy cow.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Maybe
Brooke
political is the wrong term. But yes.
I love that white
border. Oh, here's another one.
Yeah, definitely Westworld like stuff.
Who did that?
Brooke.
That's Brooke. Yeah, Brooke's killing it.
Yeah.
Oh, haven't seen this one either. This is Billy.
Yes. This is so cool. Wow. I love
skin.
Taking out the. Yeah, that's awesome.
But again, you've got the eye makes sense.
Uh-huh.
That center eye works for both.
It's funny they had the same kind of approach that I did with like pulling the pupil color out.
Here's like a poster card type thing.
Big vibe. King.
Huge vibe.
Yeah, these are just...
What a good album name. Come on. Big vibe.
Oh, hadn't seen this either.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah, people went to town.
That person said that was their first editing challenge.
Wow.
For that one.
There we go.
Yeah. Wow.
Sweet. Well, in conclusion, this week was awesome.
Oh, hold on. I got to show one more I just saw.
Okay.
Because this kind of matches what your original feel was.
This is
Oh
Watchmen.
yeah, wow,
Dr. Manhattan.
that's so cool.
That's Dr. Manhattan, right?
I did not watch Watchmen, but
Yasinowski?
Yes. That's Watchmen has one of the main characters is a guy named Dr. Manhattan, who's basically a big blue guy that looks very similar to
Okay.
this image. It's
Wow.
kind of like
Gotcha.
you know,
I mean, people really I don't know how long we've been doing this, Adam, but these people went to town on these.
yeah. And yo, we have
That's
next
awesome.
week's up, and it's gonna be the exact. Well, people are gonna go to town, but it's different. Next week is like a landscape from my friend Spud, and it's like a mountainscape. I think it has a boat in the foreground too. But it's up now in Raw Editing Challenge if you guys want to get.
People will end up doing the National Geographic composite thing too.
Yo, what's gonna happen?
Go collage.
Benjamin, is next week's is just gonna be people and everything they learned this week from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the image,
Benjamin's in a
collage
house
it
in
into
Cape
something
Cod.
else.
Benjamin can do next week's.
Oh yeah,
Right.
there we go. Yeah, I think the crop of it online is a square, but the actual raw is pretty.
Do you want me to show it?
Yeah, you can pull it up, but you should download the raw, Steve. Because
Okay.
I think
Give me 2 seconds and I will.
I also don't know. Oh, there's no boat in this. I thought it was a different image. It is a cool image though. Here it is.
It's awesome. So
Hold
much
on.
to play with.
Coming up right now.
Yeah, it's super flat, but in the best way. Do you know what I mean? Like you can really go,
Right,
really
right.
push it
You
anyway.
can create a foreground, create a middle ground.
Good night, Nessie.
Make them all different.
Happy to have you. Yeah, it's gonna be fire. Streamers. Yes, we do let the streamers know what's up now. We'll post about it soon. Raw Editing Challenge. Everything's going for the Raw Editing Challenge now because Connor's taken over. But anyway,
Black background.
while Steve's doing that, thanks for joining us, Ben.
Okay, here we go.
Benjamin.
This
Thank you
is
for
next
having me.
week's right here.
Yes, this is next week's Benjamin. I feel it's so weird calling you Benjamin. My brother's name is Ben. His full name is not Benjamin. It's just Ben.
Really?
Yeah, he's weird.
That's not good.
My parents are weird, I guess is what it is. All right, next week.
Lot you can do
Wow.
to this image.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is perfect for collaging. Like you could pull so many
Thanks,
different
Melons.
like layers out of this.
Yeah, and it ends up top, so you can like take it anywhere you
Right.
want up top.
Exactly.
Yeah, you could have
Put that
you
lake,
could have
like,
an
on the
airplane
moon.
or a blimp coming
Lake
out
on
of
the
the
moon.
fog.
Yeah, flip it upside down, invert it. Yeah, we're gonna have some people getting loose in the goose next week. Lost in the
Yeah.
sauce. It's
Love
happening.
that.
All right, well, cool. This is usually where we finish it off. Yeah, if you guys want any help with anything, obviously Benjamin likes community. He's here, so hit him up on Twitter.
Yeah.
Send him your edits.
Reach out.
We're gonna raid somebody real fast. Which have you ever used Twitch before, Benjamin, or no? Do you know?
This is my second time
Are you-
using Twitch.
Do you know what raiding is? Have you heard of it?
No clue.
So it's pretty cool, actually. On Twitch, there's like this kind of camaraderie amongst everybody. So when you're done with your show, if people still want to watch, you can raid another channel, and all your viewers go to that channel and can watch their show, and it's like a nice
Okay.
way to kind of help. I don't know, spread it.
Cool.
I'm trying to find more people that are. Does anybody know of another photographer that's up right now? Before you, let's see. I had one ready before, but I can't find it right now. Photography. Let's see, channels. It's hard though because there's not a lot of people who do photography on here. Categories, photography.
Mhm.
Do you know of any that are up right now, Steve?
No, I'm looking. I'm not seeing any though.
It's all good. We tried. I need to figure out how to look at my teams thing. I'm like on like a team and I don't know how to see who else is on it.
Oh, Marley Photography is live.
All right, what are they editing?
I'm looking. Let me get through the ad and I'll tell you because
Thanks for heading, Benjamin.
oh, they're
What we-
doing a behind the scenes setting up of a stream deck
Oh, that's not quite what we want to do.
is what it looks like. But let me get through the ad and see where they're at.
That's all
pretty fun.
good. We tried. Yeah, you should. Yeah, let me know if you ever want help and you want to use Twitch or anything, Benjamin. That's fun. But
Cool.
yeah. Otherwise,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you for joining us. Steve. I think I'm just not gonna. I gotta get my stuff in order so I can do a better job of rating. But I don't know of anybody right now. So
No worries.
we'll do better next time.
Yeah, he's setting up the stream deck is all.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Have a good one. Go somewhere else. Tell them
Thank
what's
you.
up. Take care, and we are signing off.